What makes anime very enjoyable to watch is the plethora amount of its unique and colorful characters. Specific characters oftentimes start to become fan favorites and popular amongst the community. Whether or not it is a main character, fans couldn't help but cherish these characters. However, though, unfortunately, fans often tend to give certain characters in anime, a bit too much credit, and most of the time create controversy on the internet, like versus battle forums. Here are any game's top 5 most overrated anime characters. Number 5, Light Yagami. Not one of the most popular characters in anime, same can be said about the show called Death Note. However, Light Yagami is pretty overrated and given too much credit in his own right. What makes Light Yagami a powerful anime character is the fact that he has two secret weapons, his impressive intellectual mind, and most notably the Death Note, a dark, magical notebook that kills people by simply writing their name on the paper, yada yada yada. Pretty overpowered, huh? Yes and no. Although the Death Note makes Light a very dangerous adversary, he has some flaws. Despite that he outsmarted the greatest detective, L, Light had a difficult time even trying to beat the guy. And here's the thing, what makes it even more interesting. L doesn't have a Death Note of his own. The guy just simply uses his police detective skills, and he has a certain amount of help from other police officers. And not to mention, Light's other disadvantage is that he doesn't have the Shinigami eyes. The Shinigami eyes are a supernatural ability that lets him see people's lifespans and most definitely their names, which that will give him an advantage to simply write down a person's name but just by looking at them instead of just, oh, what's your name, sir? Or what's your name, my friend? I mean, all that other stuff. He'll have to ask for your whole name. Although he is very intelligent, Light Yagami is incredibly arrogant and will eventually make a mistake. The guy has a god complex. When he uses the Death Note, Light Yagami automatically thinks, I am a god, I'm in control of this whole world. The god complex is just making him incredibly arrogant to the point where he thinks that his plans are flawless, he's perfect, he cannot be beaten. And that's one thing, and that's just how he was beaten at the end of Death Note. He was close, but Light Yagami made a mistake. He may be dangerous, but let's not forget, Light Yagami is nothing more than just a human. There's no evidence that indicates that the Death Note may work on other beings besides humans. People tend to say that, oh, the Death Note can probably work on Goku or other species in anime, like demon. We don't even know if this can actually work on other species. We only know that the Death Note is made specifically for humans. So, really, the Death Note isn't really as powerful fans like to make it out to be. Sorry, Death Note fans. Number 4, Sosuke Aizen. Aizen is well known to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, anime villain ever. Similar to Batman from DC Comics, Aizen is very intelligent and a resourceful planner. The term that we fans like to use is called prep time. Prep time is simply when a character starts to prepare themselves before battle and everything is working accordingly to their plan. With prep time, Aizen can easily outsmart most of his opponents before they realize it. Don't get me wrong, he's one of my favorite Bleach characters, but he isn't flawless. Sure, Aizen is a tricky guy, and, badass compared to my boy Kenpachi, but he isn't the smartest guy in Bleach or anime in general. Even Aizen himself admitted that Kisuke Urahara is smart, if not smarter than he is. To add this on, if it weren't for the Hogyoku's power, Gin Ichimaru could have been able to kill Aizen. Theoretically speaking, if Gin and Kisuke were to work together since they know how Aizen thinks, how his Zanpakuto works, they could have probably outsmart him as well as, maybe beat him. Even with the power of the Hogyoku, the problem with Aizen is that with the power of the Hogyoku, he's become incredibly arrogant and he's become reckless. He literally thinks that he is invincible. He cannot be beaten, and that's the problem. When with the Hogyoku, Aizen doesn't use his intelligence anymore. He relies on ultimate power, and that's how he loses against Ichigo. I mean, he just. I mean, he's just, that's just it. He's just that arrogant. And he just starts to underestimate his enemies, including Kisuke Urahara himself. And that pretty much made Aizen meet his downfall during the Shinigami and Arrancar war arc. While fighting Ichigo, after Ichigo lost his powers, Aizen was restrained by a certain special type of keto that Kisuke used on him on the previous battle before Ichigo started to get a lot stronger. So let's just say this, and I'm just going to conclude it. Yeah, Aizen is smart, and trust me, he's one of my favorite anime villains and Bleach characters. But if there is a person that is smart as he is, or maybe smarter than him, Aizen is really practically screwed. Like I said, the guy is smart, but if you have someone that is smart as Aizen, or if not smarter than him, you can definitely beat this guy, no problem, and also outwit him. I mean, no offense to Aizen fans. Yes, he is one of the greatest anime villains ever, but even Aizen himself has some flaws. He ain't perfect. Number 3, Dio Brando. Okay, this guy is arguably labeled as both the best anime villain and vampire in fiction, making him a rival toward both Aizen and Alucard from Hellsing. For a vampire, this guy is freakishly powerful and he's just overpowered. He has time stop and has to stand it's a supernatural ability and spiritual ability that takes the shape of a humanoid entity. Basically, the stand is like a ghost. This damn thing gives Dio Brando a great defense. And not to mention the time stop, it makes Dio Brando just literally almost untouchable. But however, though, unfortunately for a lot of Dio Brando fans, this guy is not as powerful that most people like to think. Okay, now let me explain. The stand may be Dio Brando's great defense, but this is also his Achilles heel, meaning that the stand is both his strength and weakness. If someone were to be able to see the stand or even injure it, like for example, if the stand were to lose an arm, the user, which is Dio Brando, will lose an arm as well. So basically speaking, if you're able to damage the stand, like let's just say you stab the stand in the eye, Dio Brando loses an eye. I mean, of course, the guy has regeneration, but still, the stand is his Achilles heel. I mean, yeah, it can be his best defense, but eventually, like, if you're able to, like, damage the stand, you can definitely be able to damage Dio Brando, even if the stand is his powerful defense. So this renders, Dio Brando's defense useless, and despite the fact he is probably more overpowered than Alucard from Hellsinger, unlike Alucard, Dio Brando is not immune to many, vampire weaknesses, like the sun, for example. Should the sun's rays, shine on Dio Brando will eventually turn to ashes. I mean, regardless of his immense power, that is like beyond even like Helsing's level of power. Dio Brando in the end is he's just a mere vampire, unfortunately. Sorry, Dio Brando fans. Number 2, Goku. arguably the most well-known anime character, Goku is easily the most popular in the anime community for his gullible attitude, immense appetite, and his trademark spiky black hair. He is the first anime character ever seen to have enough power to destroy a planet, and is specifically known for constantly breaking his limits as he trains some more. You know, that's the typical shonen main character. They fight, they train, they get stronger. Simple as that. Rinse and repeat. So with that, many anime goers often pit him against famous fictional characters, not just in anime, but in comic books. Like, you know, for example, remember that match, Superman versus Goku? I already made a video about that, and, I mean, I just don't really see the point in that debate. But, anyway, moving on, although Dragon Ball has been out for a long time, there are animes that are constantly being made every day. New characters, new shows, and new powers. And just because he constantly breaks his limits and can potentially destroy the universe, that doesn't really mean Goku is unbeatable. And though I'm not one to compare, but there are characters who could match Goku's power or might as well outsmart him. Fighting genius he may be. I mean, I know Goku is a fighting genius, but he's not a strategist in fighting. When you got characters with god-like powers, like omnipotent powers, like limitless powers, or impressive intellect, they can, without doubt, beat Goku. I mean, I love Dragon Ball. I really do. I love it with a passion. But no offense, but Goku, I mean, there are a lot of anime characters out there who has more impressive powers and far more crazier feats than what Goku has ever accomplished in Dragon Ball. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not degrading him, but I'm just saying, like, Goku is not the most powerful anime character there is. There are a lot of anime characters out there who would definitely wreck Goku in a battle. No contest. Number 1, Saitama. Folks, you knew he was going to be on this list, huh? He is easily, by far, the most overrated anime character ever seen. Probably more so than even Goku. He is overrated because, well, basically the guy kills you with one freaking punch. That's it. Certain Saitama fans even stated that his full power punch can destroy half the universe. Now, I'm a die-hard One Punch Man fan. Really, I am. But I don't think Saitama is really all that strong. First of all, the universe-busting feat, it's not really confirmed or true by the author. I mean, let me just say this. I asked a lot of Saitama fans to show me a link that says that the author has said, oh, at full power, Saitama can destroy the whole universe with one punch. Never gotten a link at all. So basically, it's just nothing but a mere rumor to make Saitama even more powerful than he actually is, okay? Now, secondly, Saitama is human. It doesn't matter if he was holding back or not against Lord Burroughs. Lord Burroughs is the only character that was able to damage Saitama, and literally, Saitama took some damage. He was hurt. So, that proves that Saitama is not invincible. Also, Lord Burroughs sent this guy way up to the moon. And guess what? Saitama had to hold his breath. He had to hold his freaking breath. So, you know what that means? That Saitama has weaknesses. You can say whatever you want, but why would someone that you consider as invincible would just simply hold his breath while he's in space? Why would he just simply hold his breath? That doesn't make any sense. But I'm just going to tell you this. You want to know why? Because he's human, and that proves that he's not really as invincible that you like to make him out to be. And even though this is supposed to be funny, but okay, if you say that Saitama is basically a universe buster, how come the guy can't even kill? How come he can't even kill a mosquito? I know that's supposed to be funny and all that stuff, but the dude can't even kill mosquitoes with his bare hands. I'm sorry, the guy, he just can't kill a mosquito with his bare hands. No matter how hard he tried, the mosquito is still alive. So pretty much that, I must say though, not to bash at Saitama. I mean, even though it's funny, but that is kind of in a way a little it's a little pathetic. Now, let's not forget, Saitama even admitted that he can't fly. He just has basically powerful legs to leap in incredible distances and he moves in incredible speed. So, I mean, the guy trains incredibly hard. He's superhuman. He can't fly, but he has very, very powerful legs. Like, it's just like the Incredible Hulk. When the Incredible Hulk, when you leap, you kind of cast the illusion that you're actually flying, but you're basically not. You're just, jumping at a great distance. That's just like the Incredible Hulk. When the Incredible Hulk jumps, it looks like the guy is actually flying, but he's really not. It's just basically the Incredible Hulk is just, that fucking powerful. His legs are just that damn powerful. Simple as that. And at best, Saitama is simply either a continent buster or probably at least a plant buster in his fight with Lord Burroughs. Look, as much as I love Saitama, there are a lot more powerful characters than him. And at this moment, all we're doing is just making, assumptions or theories on the character. I mean, listen, people can say whatever they want. Oh, we don't know Saitama's true power. I mean, listen, I'm just going to be honest here. To me, saying that, oh, we don't know his full power, dude, that's a cop-out. That's a freaking cop-out. I hate the rant, but I'm just gonna say this because, in my opinion, he is the most overrated anime character. Just because he has not yet shown his full power doesn't really mean anything. We are only going by the feats that he's only producing right now. Let me just say this. When it comes to a versus forum, you can't really just go by rumors, you can't really just go by statements, and you can't just go by theories and assumptions. You can't do that. You only do feats. You gotta show scans and feats of Saitama's accomplishments, like him destroying a meteor. I mean, like, literally, I prefer feats, not statements or rumors. I'm more of a visual person. If he can bust a universe, I like to see that. I like to see him bust the whole universe with one punch. I want to see that happen. But unfortunately, since it is heavily applied that the universe busting feat is basically a myth, I don't think we're ever going to see that. And, I mean, literally, like I said, I love Saitama. The dude's a badass. But I mean, you guys are really giving this character way too much damn credit, and and not to mention, in my opinion, the whole One Punch Man fan base. And I mean, I'm not bashing at the fan base, but I'm just gonna be very, very honest and blunt here. It's kind of even more worse than the Dragon Ball fan base. Yep, I said it. So, like I said, at this moment, you're only relying on assumptions, statements, rumors, and theories on this character. Until we see more of Saitama's power, that'll be another story for another time. But for now, like, come on. Like, stop wanking the hell out of this character.